there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm doing a bit of a request really, or a bit of a call out, a call to arms, or you know, help, a bit of an SOS I suppose. I've got a group of books here that I've picked off my shelves which I'd really like to read, but I know that I'm not going to read on my own. I just feel like these books are ones that daunt me to pick up solo, and they're ones that I really think that the only way I'm going to get to them is if I buddy read them with someone. So I'm going to show you the books, and I'm putting a bit of call out to anybody that has these books or would like to buddy read with me. It could be a small group of us or a few of us doing it. I would like to do it via the Voxer app, so you have to have the Voxer app if you want to take part in this. And I'd rather keep the group to sort of quite a small group, so maybe 2 or 3 other people, so that the group's quite small so that you don't get overrun with comments. I would like to try and read these in February, so you've got a couple of weeks to actually watch the video and see and decide if you want to. But if you are interested in buddy reading any of these books with me, pop down in the comments down below which book you would be interested in buddy reading, and that you have Voxer, and then I will take a look at all the comments and see which one is most popular, and contact those people and try and arrange to buddy read. And if there is a lot of you know, if it's popular for quite a few books, then maybe we can do a different one in March and April and do one once a month until all of these are read. We'll see. It may be that I am alone in this, and maybe they will sit on my shelf for a little bit longer until organically something comes up. But these are the books that I'm looking for buddy readers for. The first one is Far from the Maddening Crowd by Thomas Hardy. I didn't know too much about this book, and I still don't, but I know that the film came out either last year or the year before, and I remember seeing the trailer and being really drawn to it, and I stopped myself from watching it because I really think, especially with classics, that I need to read the book first and then watch the film second. And so I've had this book. It's a beautiful sort of buttery soft cover from the Penguin English Library edition. I don't know if you can see it very well there, but I would really like to read this book. So if it's something you're interested in, then let me know. The only other sort of classic, traditional classic that I have that I'd like to read is The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne Bronte. Again, this is my Penguin English Classic Library edition. I would really like to read this one. I don't know anything about it. It said it's a hard-hitting, passionate tale of marital cruelty sees a mysterious new tenant at Wildfell Hall, Helen Graham, unmasked not as a wicked woman as the local gossips would have it, but as the estranged wife of a brutal alcoholic bully desperate to protect her son. Using her own experiences with her brother Bramwell to depict the cruelty and debauchery from which Helen flees, Anne Bronte wrote her masterpiece to reflect the fragile position of women's society and her belief in universal redemption. So I think that sounds really good. So let me know down below if that is one that you would like to buddy read. I've got 2 SFF books on this list. The first is Stephen King's Sleeping Beauties. It is the mere size of this book that worries me. It is a massive 700 pages, and I haven't read much Stephen King at all, and I don't like horror. But this one just feels a bit of a mixture. It says that all of a sudden around the world women just start to fall asleep shrouded in these sort of cocoon gauze things, and then if they're woken up they become feral and spectacularly violent. And then we go to this small town of Dooley in West Virginia. The virus is spreading through a woman's prison, affecting the inmates except one. Soon word spreads about the mysterious Evie, who seems to sleep and wake. She's a medical anomaly or a demon to be slain. The abandoned men left to their increasingly primal devices are fighting each other, while Dooling's sheriff Lila Norcross is just fighting to stay awake. And the sleeping women are about to open their eyes to a new world altogether. I think this sounds brilliant, but again, I feel like it's one that I would want to be discussing with somebody else or a few other people, so let me know on this one. The other SFF book I've got is the Queens of Innisleer by Tessa Grattan. This again is quite a big boy, at 550 or something pages, so not massive, but still one I feel like I'd want to read. And this is about the Queens of Innisleer. It says their prophecy-obsessed father, the king, has drained Innisleer of its wild magic, leaving behind a trail of barren crops and despondent subjects. Enemy nations circle the once bountiful isle, sensing its growing vulnerability, hungry to control the ideal port for all trade routes. The king's 3 daughters know that the only chance for resurrecting the realm lies in crowning a new sovereign, proving that a strong hand can reawaken magic and defend their lands. But their father will not choose an heir until the longest night of the year, when prophecies align and a poison ritual can be enacted. Refusing to leave their future in the hands of a blind faith, the daughters of Innisleer prepare for war, but regardless of who wins the crown, the shores of Innisleer will weep in blood of a house divided. So this sounds like it's going to be a brilliant sort of sweeping epic fantasy. So let me know on that one. Another book which actually may be deemed as a bit of a classic, but definitely one that I've had on my list. I think I've seen the film for this years ago, but it's one that I would like to read the book for, and that is The Cider House Rules by John Irving. I haven't read, I don't think, any other John Irving, but he's a really prolific writer with loads of famous books like The Prayer for Owen Meany, which I've heard of for sure, and many others listed here. I don't know much about this one. I know that it's set in Maine. It's about a boy who's adopted, I think, and then becomes the apprentice to a surgeon, his relationship with the surgeon, and it says his adult life running a cider making factory, and his strange relationship with the wife of his closest friend. I don't know much about this at all, but it's been on my shelf for years and years and years, and it's definitely one that I would relish the opportunity to read finally. A book that most people have heard of, and I just feel like now is the right time. It's 900 pages, but that is Shantaram by Gregory David Roberts. This book is a couple of people I know's favourite book ever, and these are people that don't read prolifically but have said that this was an amazing epic tale and well worth the read, and so I would really like to read this. The sequel to this is now out as well, so that's another push to sort of finally read this, and I feel like it's one that there would be some good discussion on. And the final one is one that I learnt about a year or two ago, and I picked it up and then I didn't end up winning it. It's the winner of the Commonwealth Writers' Prize, and it's called The Polished Howe by Austin Clarke. The back of this says, Bimshire, 1952, the sergeant of the island's police force is called to hear a murderous confession. A lifetime of tragic compromise told in a single night. Layers of disturbing history unfold as Mary Mathilda, fair-skinned mistress of plantation manager Mr. Belfields, weaves her intimate story of passion, motherhood and loss, culminating in gruesome revenge. I think this sounds like a really interesting story, and I've heard really good things. Again, it's quite a long one, over 500 pages, and one that I feel would be a really good one to discuss. So as I say, if any of those pique your interest and you fancy buddy reading and you have access to Voxer and you would like to do that with me, then let me know in the comments down below, and I will probably start organising that in the next week or so. So maybe next weekend I might start to look and organise that a bit more. So let me know, and I look forward to hopefully buddy reading this with a few of you or one of you next month. That's it for me. Bye for now, BookTube.